Was Luther Burden the premier pick of the 2025 NFL Draft? Let's explore this question with respect to the Chicago team. Thank you to everyone participating in today's discussion. Let me ask you, are you excited to see Burden integrated into this offense? To me, he's an exceptional addition to what Coach Ben Johnson seeks in his receiving core. Burden stands out, and many believe he fits perfectly with the Bears' needs. A respected draft analyst highlighted him as a promising selection, ranking him among the top receivers in this incoming class. He emphasized Burden's ability to gain yards after the catch, an essential asset in Johnson's scheme, which has proven effective at creating opportunities for receivers. It's likely that Burden will begin his career as a slot receiver alongside other talented athletes, a role in which he has already excelled in the past. The analyst positioned him as one of the premier talents available. I considered him a standout prospect, even accounting for a slight dip in production this past year, a topic we will address further on. His ability to be dynamic with the football in his hands is remarkable. I viewed him as the most outstanding player in this draft class. He simply needs to be on the field and allowed to play. In today's league, many teams seek players who can create mismatches against defenses, and that description fits Luther Burden perfectly. It's worth mentioning that the Bears' new coach has emphasized in meetings his search for explosive players after the catch. There are other athletes on the roster who fit this profile, which may have influenced some of the team's decisions. Nonetheless, Burden exemplifies this characteristic. I feel a bit frustrated that we didn't discuss him more before the draft. I didn't expect him to still be available when the Bears made their pick. I believe he would go between picks 15 and 16, but I certainly never thought he'd still be there at 39. Even into day 2, I assumed that teams needing receivers would have snatched him up earlier. Yet there he was, at pick 39. The Bears managed to secure the draft's leader in yards after the catch, exactly the kind of player their coach envisioned for his receiving core. Some may consider this a significant investment, but he was the most qualified athlete available and meets several desired criteria. Looking at the current roster, there are multiple players capable of making impact plays after the catch. This also explains the decision not to re-sign a veteran receiver who, despite experience and route-running ability, contributed little in terms of yards at this stage of his career. Meanwhile, another player stands out as one of the most efficient in that area. A skilled route runner, he remains a productive athlete, even if his yards after catch numbers aren't eye-catching at this point. He catches the ball and may pick up a few yards before being tackled. There's some hesitation in absorbing contact. Understandable, given he's around 32 or 33 years old. One player excels in that department. Another was considered the draft's top prospect in that aspect, and a third also brings that quality. Considering his frame, he is surprisingly agile in open space. Thus, there are several players who can shine in space, not just with their routes and skills, but also on quick plays like short passes and rapid cuts where the goal is simply to catch and go. This trend is seen across many teams in the current league and represents a clear advantage for their quarterback. It's vital that he recognizes matchups and throws to his man in space, because defenses will face a significant challenge in containing these receivers. Additionally, there's another athlete who can get open, and if they're all on the field simultaneously, it will pose a considerable challenge. Although this selection may be viewed as a luxury, it's a choice of the best available athlete possessing a highly coveted skill set. Truly an impressive pick. What are your thoughts on which of these players could have the greatest long-term impact on this team? Who do you think will become a more decisive weapon in this offense? Type Roro for one player and LB for the other. One could argue that one of them is more complete, but given the coach's style over the years, it wouldn't surprise me if the second one ends up being the answer. The good news is that both have genuine breakout potential. I want to acknowledge a professional for this insight. I believe it was an excellent discovery. Here is a list of all receivers from the Southeastern Conference who have surpassed 1,200 yards in their rookie or second seasons. Many notable names. It's a truly impressive list. If his minimum production resembles that of a player who has shown in recent years, I'm on board. Of course, there's no guarantee he'll reach his ceiling, but that list is quite exclusive. It's extremely challenging to become an impactful athlete in the SEC as a freshman or second-year player. Without a doubt, it's a major feat. One athlete who truly progressed over the past years catches the eye. While we can't be certain that this represents his limit, it clearly places him in an elite group. To emerge as a dominant player in the SEC as a freshman or sophomore is rare. It's the closest experience to the professional level you'll find in college football. For a player to shine as a key contributor, especially on a team not considered a powerhouse, is remarkable. It's genuinely impressive. Let's delve deeper into why this athlete's output may have declined his junior season. I believe there is one primary reason, along with several additional factors that likely played a role. However, before we explore that, I want to mention a helpful resource that's available. There's a personal finance app that helps users manage subscriptions, track expenses, and reduce bills, all to boost savings. With living costs on the rise, financial discipline has become more essential than ever. Monitoring subscriptions and expenses can seem daunting, especially for those with extra responsibilities. Thankfully, this app simplifies the process, allowing users to make informed financial choices. The app's dashboard provides a comprehensive overview of spending, making it easy to identify areas for budget cuts, whether on dining, travel, or other expenses. With millions of users, this tool has already helped save a considerable amount through cancellations. It's time to act. Cancel unwanted subscriptions today and accelerate your path to financial goals. To do so, simply visit a site that directs you to your app store to download the application. This decision supports the content being offered. If you appreciate this type of information and want to gain control over your finances, it's advisable to visit the site and start your economic journey. Now, returning to Luther Burden, I believe he was one of the draft's biggest surprises, a sentiment shared by many. But what led to his decreased production in 2024? Let's examine the data. His receptions fell by a quarter from 86 two seasons ago to 61 last year. His yardage also dropped from over 1,200 to 676. While I'm not overly concerned about touchdowns, those totaled 96. The averages clearly show that Burden didn't have the same explosiveness last season. I believe there is one main factor explaining this decline. Although not the only cause, Missouri's quarterback play had a considerable impact. He performed acceptably in 2023, but really struggled the following year. The statistics don't fully reflect how far he fell. He was considered a promising senior, with potential to go on day 2 of the draft, possessing good size, mobility, and a strong arm. However, his performances were underwhelming. Even with a reasonable offensive line and having Luther Burden, a top receiver, the running game also lagged, which likely contributed to the struggles. So, is the situation really that simple? Did the quarterback's decline directly cause Burden's drop in production? I don't see it that way. Although I view that as the primary reason, this scenario is quite common in college football. In the NFL, even average quarterbacks can produce decent numbers. However, in college, a quarterback who is off his game can severely limit the performance of skilled players around him. The variability in college football is significant and can greatly affect those around underperforming signal callers. There are, without doubt, other aspects we should consider. In college football, a struggling quarterback compromises the entire offense. The swings are so drastic they can hamper the productivity of talented teammates. Moreover, there were rumors before the draft about concerns over Burden's attitude last season. I don't think it reached the level of other players, but it was noted that his focus may have wavered. It's unclear if he completely checked out, but with Missouri having a poor season and falling out of playoff contention early, he may have begun eyeing the NFL. That doesn't excuse anything. Athletes must maintain focus and maturity. This mindset could have influenced his production drop and possibly affected his draft stock. It's also worth considering that his route execution may not have been as crisp. During the second half of a game against Alabama, observers noted his effort seemed to dip. It's understandable when the team struggles and the quarterback is battling. Yet we must acknowledge the challenges faced by Missouri's receiving corps last year. The truth is that Luther Burden possesses undeniable talent. Surpassing 1,200 yards as a freshman in the SEC indicates he's doing something right. His ability to gain yards after the catch is exceptional, and when fully engaged, his route execution is above average despite room for refinement. He may not reach elite receiver status, but he has the tools to stand out. What truly separates Luther Burden is his exceptional talent for decelerating and then rapidly accelerating, particularly impressive given his 206-pound frame. Players who can change direction with that agility typically weigh around 175 pounds, making Burden's ability even more remarkable. He integrates seamlessly into an offense, even if it may not perfectly mirror other styles. His capacity to turn short 6-yard passes into gains of more than 30 is an area where he excels. I genuinely believe this talent will adapt well to the professional level. If there's any aspect of maturity that needs attention, strong leadership could be critical in guiding him. In my view, if this player focuses, dedicates himself fully, and embraces the opportunity to join a team with great potential, there are no limits to what he can achieve as an athlete. I truly believe he has all-pro potential. Whether he becomes merely a supporting player hinges on his commitment. It's up to him to determine how far he can go in the league. For anyone seeking a more thorough player analysis, this was a concise look at Luther Burden, who could certainly be one of this draft's hidden gems. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on our Chicago Bears. And don't be shy. Drop your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Coach Ben Johnson, the new head coach of the Chicago Bears, has made headlines this week by expressing a bold desire to bring Kansas City Chiefs superstar tight end Travis Kelce to Chicago. In a move that would send shockwaves through the NFL, Johnson reportedly views Kelce as the missing piece in his plan to revamp the Bears' offense and restore the team to competitive relevance. Kelce, widely regarded as one of the greatest tight ends in NFL history, has been a cornerstone of the Chiefs dynasty alongside quarterback Patrick Mahomes. His combination of size, athleticism, and elite route running has made him nearly impossible to cover, and his postseason performances have become legendary. Acquiring Kelce would be a monumental move for the Bears, who are looking to build around a young core and new coaching vision after years of mediocrity. Sources close to the organization suggest that Johnson is pushing the front office to at least explore the possibility, though no formal talks have been confirmed. While the logistics of a trade or free agent acquisition involving a player of Kelce's stature are immensely complicated, not to mention the financial and cap space implications, the mere suggestion reflects Johnson's ambition and urgency in his new role. Johnson, who gained prominence as the offensive coordinator of the Detroit Lions, is known for his innovative play calling and his ability to maximize tight end production. It's no surprise, then, that he would target someone like Kelce to serve as both a weapon on the field and a mentor in the locker room. Bringing in a player of Kelce's caliber could dramatically accelerate the development of Chicago's offense and signal to the league that the Bears are ready to compete now. Of course, whether Kelce would even consider a move away from Kansas City, a city where he has won multiple Super Bowls and built a deep legacy, remains to be seen. For now, Johnson's interest in Kelce may be nothing more than a dream. But in the NFL, where bold moves often define legacies, dreams can quickly turn into reality. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Chicago Bears, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.